Yo, what's up? Listen, I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I ask that you bear with me. I'm working with this camera thing, aside from using my phone, trying something a little different. The jump kind of moves and flow with me. But listen, I'm glad to be back, and I want to welcome you, re-welcome you to my channel. And on my channel, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about everything, from love, relationships, life, purpose, potential, everything. But the only thing is we're going to talk about that from all of the base of living the way God intended us to live our lives so that we can be effective for the time that we have here and live our life and our purpose to the fullest. But today, we're going to talk about relationships or a certain aspect of relationships. Are you in love or are you distracted? Are you in love or are you distracted? Pretty sure we all been there where we felt like we was in love just to find out it wasn't real love. Or maybe you was on the opposite end. Maybe you was really in love, but the person that you loved didn't love you back. Crazy. It's crazy. But we're going to talk about that. And I ain't going to keep you long. I always say that if you see my past videos. But I might keep you a little long. But it's all good. But listen, please bear with me. And at the end of this, like, share, comment. I love to hear all perspectives. So make sure to interact with your boy. And I interact with you too. So listen, have you ever just found yourself like jumping into a new relationship to get over a last one? Maybe you weren't really in love, but that distraction, it felt better than the loneliness. And I know we all been there. We just got out of a breakup or, whatever the case may be. And we was feeling a little lonely because, it gets cold outside. But listen, we all been there. And if that sounds familiar to you, like I said, you're not alone. But before you move forward, let's just take a step back and ask. If you're in that situation right now, is this relationship, is it helping me heal or is it just hiding the hurt? Because a lot of times we jump into relationships, we jump into another relationship right out of a relationship just to cover the hurt. And it ain't really healing the hurt. We feel like, or we make ourselves think that it's healing the hurt, but it really ain't healing the hurt. It's just covering it up. And then later on down the road, when old dude ain't acting right, when you're a little shouty, or whatever y'all youngins say now, they ain't acting right, all that hurt and everything starts to come right back up. So I got 3 points for you, maybe even 4. But we're going to see how it go. Point number 1, healing comes from God and not from another person. Healing comes from God and not from another person. When our hearts are broken, our first instinct is to fill that void. But true healing doesn't come from rushing into something new. It comes from God. If we look at Psalms 147:3, it says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. A rebound relationship, or whatever you want to call it, it may mask the pain for a moment, but only God can fully restore what's broken inside. I know a lot of us felt that before. We jumped into a relationship, jumped into a situationship or whatever to try to cope with hurt that we dealt with or hurt that we're dealing with. Only to not only add on more hurt, but to also hurt a person, an innocent bystander, a casualty, for them to catch a stray, just because we won't heal the way we need to heal. Point 2, guard your heart. It's easy, it's always easy to convince ourselves that a new relationship is the answer. You know, we heard some of the old heads say, to get over one, got to get another one. Don't do that. That ain't right. Because you're making yourself worse. And then if you look at Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. When we jump into something prematurely, we risk building on a foundation of unresolved hurt. You're adding on more hurt to your hurt. You're adding on more stress to your stress. You're adding on more confusion to what you're already confused about. And if our hearts isn't ready for that, like I said, somebody catching the stray. And now even if they ain't the only one catching the stray, you adding on more to yourself that you have to deal with eventually. Because one thing about hurt, you're gonna have to deal with it. Because if you live with it, it makes you sick. It affects your attitude. It affects your emotions. It affects your social interactions. It just makes you ornery, as the old folks say. You don't want to be old and bitter, or even young and bitter, because you ain't dealing with the hurt the way you're supposed to deal with it. So, guard your heart above all else, for everything you do flows from it. I'm going to give you point 3. We might get to point 4 because I don't want to keep you too long. That's why I'm moving through. But point 3, love should be genuine and not a distraction. Love should be genuine and not a distraction. When we look at rebound relationships or situationships, I almost listed a little bit right there, but it's all good. Situationships, it often lacks the depth and sincerity that true love requires. You can meet somebody, they feel like, or you feel like, or it may be mutual, that you're exactly what they've been looking for, or they're exactly what you've been looking for. And next thing you know, a couple days in, you're already saying, I feel like I love you. I don't know how I'm gonna live without you. I miss you. I'm thinking about you all the time. But you ain't even put no depth in that relationship. You don't know that person. You don't know them yet. And that's when it comes to understanding what true love requires. And we see true love through the actions of Jesus, how he loves us unconditionally, how when you build a relationship with him, you learn his love. Therefore, you start to learn how you love and how to love. So don't put yourself in a rebound relationship or a situationship or whatever y'all may call it, just to cover up a hurt and have something that doesn't have any depth to it. Because true love requires depth and sincerity. And Romans 12:9 says, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. If a relationship is built on the need to escape pain rather than a genuine connection, it's not fair. It's not fair for the other person involved. It's not fair to you either. If you're just trying to build on a relationship or build on to this connection with a person just to escape the pain, just to escape that brokenheartedness, it's not fair. It's not fair to either party. Love must be sincere. And since we here, you know what I'm saying, I might as well drop 4. Might as well drop point number 4. If you stayed around this long, let me tell you this. I appreciate you. Point 4. We're going to wrap it up with point 4. Listen. Trust God's timing. The old folks say, he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. But I like to say, he may not come when you want him, but he come when you want him. Because he always there when you need him. You may feel like at a moment he's not there when you needed him the most, but when he's actually there. Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says there's a time for everything, a reason for every activity under the heavens. So instead of seeking temporary comfort, trust that God has a plan. Trust him with your future. And when the time is right, he'll bring the right person into your life, someone who's emotionally and spiritually ready for you. And that you'll be emotionally and spiritually ready for them. That way, it will never be a one-sided relationship. Trust God's timing. Don't settle for a substitute. Wait for God's best. That's all it is. Those situationships, those rebound relationships, it feels like a quick fix. It feels like it works for that moment, but it doesn't bring that true healing. So instead of looking for love in the wrong places, take this time, grow, heal, and strengthen your relationship with God. Because when you focus on him, he will lead you to the love that aligns with his purpose for your life. And I'm going to end it right there. Because when you focus on God and your relationship with him, he'll lead you to the love that aligns with your purpose that he has for you and for your life. So listen, I'm done. That's it. That's all. At the end of the day, they got to end. Listen, what are your thoughts on this? Have you ever experienced a time when you let God heal your heart instead of seeking a temporary fix? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And until next time, my good people, take it easy.